container square to get my snake plants, the Trough rectangular planter. Initially I had got the size 7, but I noticed that they are too small for the snake plants. So I was going in for the size 8. Size 8 went for 1,100. The size 7 was 420 shillings. Link in the video you're going to see a difference between the size 7 and size 8. So that's my snake plant. That's where I had put the soil. Then that's a size 8 Trough rectangular planter. I set up everything. I had the water and the jug, mop, broom and a dustpan so that I can clean up after I'm done. So as you can see in the video right now, I'm trying to dismantle the snake plant from the initial plant position so that I can transfer it to the planter. I started by layering the planter with some soil. Spread it all out. And then I cut the snake plant open where it was planted initially, that is. I just hit them on the ground so that they separate. I don't know if this is how it's supposed to be done, but for my initial snake plants, this is what I did, and they turned out great. So I separated each and started putting them into the trough one by one. So the aim is to separate them so that they have enough space between them. I was not specific, I was just doing eye measurements. So when I plant, or when I place each snake plant, I was making sure to have soil to hold it in place. This one I cut because ilikuwa imezeka kidogo, so nikaona nikate ianze afresh, but the root system was okay, so I just planted it in. So when all the snake plants were well positioned, I filled up the trough with soil, but I was not filling it up too high. I was leaving an allowance of 1 inch. I noticed this when I was doing the initial snake plants I planted or transplanted to the planters. If I overfill it, it was backfiring when I water them. So this is the manure. I was adding the manure. Yeah, so point to note, do not overfill the troughs with soil. When you water them, there'll be no space for the water to be held within the planter. I was making sure I've utilized every particle of soil and cleaning time. So this job is honestly very messy, but I was expecting that because we're dealing with soil and plants. And that's the joy of it all, when you get to see your plants growing in a neat manner. So I was cleaning everything up, and I decided to clean the balcony with a lot of water. So I started with pouring, it was soapy water, so I poured it onto the ground and I was sweeping most of the dirt away initially. After a few pours and a few sweepings, it was getting cleaner and cleaner. After the first clean, I went in and got cleaner water. So before I poured it on the ground, I made sure to water the plants I had initially planted. Time to water the plants, and as you can see, that's my improvised watering can. I just got an old yogurt bottle, made holes in the bottle top, and I used it to water my snake plants. This was very important for me because since I had overfilled the other troughs with soil, whenever I water with a jug or just water free flowing, overflows too much. So for me, the improvised watering can helps to distribute the water evenly, and it doesn't overflow from the troughs. So I decided to clean the troughs, and here you can see the difference between a size 7 and a size 8. Size 8 is the brown one, and it's slightly bigger than the size 7. So it's still not the best size for the snake plants. This is how I got ready to go to China Square. China Square also I got other things. This pen for 80 shillings. I absolutely love it. It writes in 4 colors. And then this book